Hi everyone, this is going to be my first reading for Macbeth, and I'm going to be reading Act 1, Scene 1. It is an incredibly short scene. It's only 1 page long, and I'm going to introduce you to the 3 witches. So I'm going to be using this picture of an old witch from Macbeth to represent the first witch. And this is going to be Witch 2. And this final image is going to be witch number 3. And lastly, when I show this image on the screen, this is going to be all 3 witches talking together. So our story begins in Scotland in the 11th century. There is thunder and lightning, and the 3 witches enter. When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
'Twill be ere the set of sun.
Where the place? Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin. Paddock calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air. Okay, so that's the end of Act 1, Scene 1, and I'm just going to go over some quick things that are important for you to know for your book work. So the first thing is a question that I want all of you to think about, and that's whether or not you think the witches are prophets and they are able to tell the future, or are they the ones that are going to put the things in place that are going to happen throughout the play. So are they predicting the future that would have always taken place, or are they the ones controlling the events of the play, and that's why they can tell what's to come? There are 2 themes that I want you to pay attention to, and the first one's really obvious, and that's weather. So the very first words of this play are actually stage directions, and they are thunder and lightning, which tells us that there is going to be bad weather happening. And that this is a theme that happens throughout the play and really sets the tone of sort of dreariness and sadness and a turmoil of nature. And now the second major theme that I would like you to pay attention to is this discrepancy, or this inability to coincide between what is reality and what is the appearance. And this is really set in place with the last 2 lines of this scene, where the oxymoron fair is foul and foul is fair is repeated. And those lines in particular set the tone of the play, and they suggest that the natural order will be reversed. Lastly, there are some important words for you to pay attention to. So the first is the phrase hurly-burly, which is said by the second witch, and that's referring to the turmoil of the battle that we later find out is going on in Scotland. And that really links to the second scene when we find out that the battle has been won technically by Banquo and Macbeth. And the last thing I want you to pay attention to before we move on is the prophecy. So the third witch says the line, "There to meet with Macbeth," and this is fulfilled when the witches do meet Macbeth in a thunderstorm on the heath at sunset.